Excuse me. Uh, Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this brief live stream. I am making this because I got kind of, sort of, um, not so much breaking news as an update of sorts. Um, Now, one thing that's been going on that's been rather interesting is if I can find, well, I'll use this one with this guy is that um, he's been coming up with the wackadoodle conspiracy theories again. Um, he can't seem to, I don't know, tell the truth, I guess you could say. Um, and he's come up with another cockamamie theory, this time having to do with um, someone running around naked in Bill McConnell's house and saying she's afraid of being decapitated. Now, naturally, as is always the case, Holmes has not identified who this particular woman is and why she is in fear of being decapitated. He just throws these conspiracy theories out there because he knows that his fellow yo yos will fall for it. Now, my update, interestingly enough, has to do with the Delphi case. Now, Holmseth has been on this kick, uh, saying that I am the uh, bridge guy and that the guy that is arrested, Mr. Allen, is not the killer. That it is, in fact, either me or the so called group that I am supposed to be part of. Um, it's stupid, but this is Mr. Homeseth being stupid. So we had in the last week or so developments start to happen in the Delphi murder case, and unfortunately for me, I can't, for whatever reason, put up PDF files on my display. I have to convert them. Unfortunately, I didn't have the time to convert them. So, needless to say, there I'm going to have to do this a little bit different. Yeah, it's not allowing me to. Let me do this. There, in the Delphi murder case, there has been a guilty plea that was entered into the court, and that guilty plea is going to be discussed in a hearing the 30th. Now, what the guilty plea is not to the Delphi murders, which would have been interesting if that were the case. No, what has happened is Mr. Klein, who is in jail on 20 plus counts of child possession of child pornography and associated criminal actions to that, has advised his attorney that he is going to plead guilty to the aforementioned crimes. And Mr. All indications, according to reports that have been out there, is that he is not going to be making any plea deal with the authorities when it comes to the murder of the two teenagers. And the prevailing theory that's been put out there in the various discussions about this particular case is that Mr. Klein, by entering the plea, uh, is going to stop all discovery that would come out in the trial that may have linked him to the Delphi murders in order to get him tried for the Delphi murders and all that. Now they would have to charge him as a co-conspirator with the other guy, Mr. Allen. So this may be a maneuver to outflank the uh, law enforcement there. Now, Mr. Holmseth, being the so-called investigative reporter that he is, missed this little gem. He's been too busy running around espousing his conspiracy theories to bother with the Delphi murder case. Now, since I broke the news, I would expect probably that within a very short period of time, Mr. Holmseth or whoever it is that's ghostwriting is going to provide details of this um, thing, and he's going to come up with his spin on it. That's going to be a wait and see thing. Whoops. I don't know if that came over. Apparently, there was a train wreck in North Dakota, and Holmseth is saying that it's yet another conspiracy theory that he brought forth, and he's taking credit and all this stuff. So there's that. But basically, the only reason I came on tonight, and this, like I said when I posted on Twitter, this is going to be somewhat brief because the Neely Blanchard case, there's been no change on that. I'm not going to play the teaser again because that just wouldn't be um, relevant. But in this latest thing that he posted, he seems to want to get Paula involved in this somehow. But he said basically, I'm investigating leads that a woman in Phil McConnell's Pierce County, Wisconsin home on February 27, 2023 said she thinks McConnell is going to die after she leaves. She said his, quote, friends at the nursing home told her his health is deteriorating. She spoke of herself and her children dying. Witnesses feared being beheaded. Said she told you ahead of time. Said held me and my kids hostage. Said emergency call police. Was worried her location would be traced by policy blades. Now the thing of it is Holmseth never reports this stuff to law enforcement. And if he does, they don't do anything. The information is on Timothy Charles Holmes's blog. And I'm going to link it here so you guys can read it. He does not like to link stuff that I do. He puts it in, he plagiarizes my content and refuses to link everything. That's how he operates. But this is the link to the article that I just read, so you guys can go read it for yourself, and you can also go look at the other BS that he puts on over there. It's the usual. Oh, everybody's going to get arrested. There's this big investigation going on. He even said that Donald Trump in his rally in Waco, Texas, had given out a hint to that effect. Everything is always about Timmy. Timmy's important. Timmy's that, and so on and so forth. And once again, Timmy has said that he's in witness protection or his girlfriend, Jessie, or whatever the hell her name is. So I dug out the old You Don't Know Me shirt, which I used to quickly debunk the um, thing where Tim Holmset said he was in witness protection and he wore a shirt like this. And this was a proof of life thing that he did. And so he put the shirt on, stood up behind a blank wall, and everybody said, "Oh, he's in witness protection. He's got the official shirt." And no, this was an advertisement for a movie. And so I obtained the shirt and I made the same video debunking him. And now he's going back to it again. So, for whatever reason, they're making a big deal about the train derailment, and he's still, based on new information, is doing this weird investigation thingy again. Same old, day in and day out. The mole people live in 500 miles of underground tunnel systems under human trafficking. So we got another weirdo saying that there are mole kids underneath the city. This stuff just never stops. And this is what I say, Holmset says, oh my God, somebody's going to whack me and silence me. And no, because there's always somebody else out there that is going to continue this stuff. So Timmy's fakery will live on somebody else. Timmy somehow has connected himself to these um, railroad derailings, which is pure and utter nonsense. And it's with the chocolate factory. Now he's accusing the chocolate factory of uh, trafficking children. This shit never ends. And it just goes on and on and on and on and on. And it's like I said before, he doesn't need me or my friends for conspiracy theories. He's got all this crap out there. And I really don't care. He can have all the conspiracy theories he wants. He just needs to leave us alone. And all he's doing with this stuff is making himself look stupid. And that what happens is that he's in his own little circle there over on these extremist sites, and nobody really cares, outside that little circle. So he could sit there and he could talk about all this stuff, milk these people out of their money, and, no problem. Just leave us out of it. But he won't do that. And so I have to sit here day in and day out saying, look, folks, he's lying again. And, so we go through this nonsense all of the damn time. Where's this? Oh, all right. I'm trying to take the wire from this headset out of the shot. So I think I managed. They could be pulling in quite a bit. If you go to his e-begs, he's actually got a hell of a racket going on there. Let me see if I can bring some of this stuff up. Because let's see, he's got As to Tell. Okay, we got Timothy Holmes's car. Okay, he's got $9,933 for the car. And he, whoever Scott is, sent him $50. Another anonymous sent him 50. This is a week ago. So 6 days ago, he got $50. It's up to 9,933. At this rate, it's going to be a long time before he gets a car. He probably is running patron. And let's see, while we're at it here, what's this one? Hey, Amber. The live to tell one is this big money maker. He's got a picture of Haley Cummings up there. He's got 14,575 on that one. So in two charities alone, he's got $20,000. And um, and so we go back and we go back again because he has a thing here. Oh, Operational Alert Trump. And so he has an additional $4,800 so he can uh, alert Trump. I guess, you know, FedEx uh, owes him a lot of money. And thanks for the $4.99, but I am not moving to be Picasio's driver and personal assistant. And you should know by now that there's no such thing as the truth on the PPTF boards and Telegram. These people are bullshit artists. I am not moving to Fort Lauderdale. I'm staying right here. I got enough to do without being somebody's driver. She got her own car that she drives. She's got a really nice car or SUV. So that's another one of these weird things that's out there. Let's see what we got. Let's see. We've done Trump. We've done Live to Tell. Okay, we got Donate all by itself. And that is uh, his own thing. And the thing about that is he's got his address as East Grand Forks, Minnesota, but he's not there. Hi, Mark. Welcome to the show. Let's see. I'm going to stand here probably for about a half hour. Oops, I dropped that. Let's see. That's 4 so far. What else have we got here? Live to Tell, Donate, True Social, Contact, Acting Trustee, Jacob Waterling, Threats, Old State. He doesn't have Patron listed up here. Now, he may have it on some of his other social media, but what I don't see is the other donation sites. Eyewitness affidavits of torture and cannibalism by U.S. presidents are on their way to Trump. Where the hell did this one come from? Oh, that's September 6th. Yeah, that never happened. Oh, thank you, Mark. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm just not understanding, you know. But the funny thing about this is they're doing this on a channel that I'm not allowed to see. So I can't see them for myself. They went and, oh, yeah, I just saw this on Twitter. Trump has it on media release. 90% of all the missing watch the news, you'll see. Chances are, he's at it again. Timmy is in his 50s. He's either, he's in his early 50s. He's sometime between 51 and 55, somewhere in there. Um, I had the age at one time, but he was born in the 60s, I think. Let's see, we got here. It appears there was evidence and that someone was naked in Phil McConnell's home. The information warrants a few questions. Phil McConnell is an elderly whistleblower. He's actually a year older than me, I believe, one or two. Did operatives of foreign agents kidnap, hold hostage, torture, and commit acts of elder abuse against this man? Were those acts of a sexual nature? And Jesse jumped in on this and said, did foreign agents commit crimes and sexually exploit an elderly man in his own home? Oh boy, I guess, get on the phone and call the popo. Get them over there and talk to Phil. If you believe that shit, then you know, bug the shit out of the popo and give them a call and let them know all of Timmy's bullshit shit. And I see, where the hell? All right, somebody supposedly sent me something, but it's not showing up. But interestingly enough, I did hear that one of Holmes's biggest supporters, uh, known as Astro, is pissed. And she is pissed at Tim Holmesat. She goes by the handle "The Time Has Come" on Twitter, and I can't read her account because she's got me blocked. But somebody's been sending me messages, and I'm trying to get into it here. That managed to keep from getting blocked, and she posted, Timothy Charles Holmesat, you and your supporters need to leave Field McConnell alone. This has gone on long enough. He was jailed. He lost his wife, his close friend. Phil lives next door and would know if he were in danger. Now, Phil is the one that has his um, power of attorney. Phil McConnell was taken advantage of by your group. You should be ashamed instead of having him swatted. The truth always comes out. Alex in Canada, I hope you get arrested for the swatting incident and everything else you're guilty of. The same for Timothy Charles Holmeseth and Randy Erickson. Correction, Randy Holmeseth. Uh, enough is enough. So Astro's mad. Astro used to be an extremely strong supporter of Tim Holmeseth. She was one that really never wavered in her support of Homestead, but I think she's beginning to realize that he is going too far with his um, shenanigans. Okay, Tina, Astro is a woman from the state of Virginia, uh, and she goes on Twitter by Astro two underscores um, X. Um, she followed Timmy right at the Haley Cummings case, and she hates Levi Page, me, Alexandra Goddard, and Kim Pacazio. Um, and she sent money to Home Seth a couple times. She runs a pizza joint, Pizza Franchise in Eastern Virginia. Um, but, he she just, well, this isn't working out. You guys are just going to have to put up the wire in front of the shirt. Um, she has Yeah, that's what they get for playing around. I hope I got audio back. Yeah, it's a switch on this thing, and it mutes. So, am I okay? We got audio, right? Because I keep playing with this switch. It's supposed to be if it blinks, it's muted. If it doesn't blink, it's not muted. Um, okay, if I've got audio, Tina, I said that's probably correct that Astro sent documents. I can't say for sure. I don't have proof, but it's possible because she has a vast collection of documents and pictures and so forth that have gone back 15 years and maybe even um, longer than that. And yeah, Mark, I hope you do get better. You know, about this stupid. In my effort to try and do something about this wire on the microphone, I knocked the audio off. Well, that's you know, I hope you get better. But um, now Saturday, Paula and Phil McConnell were going to go on the air, but apparently Phil is under the weather himself. He talks like he has laryngitis, and damn, this hat is. Uh, he is talking like he has laryngitis because when you listen to the court hearing, you would hear that Phil McConnell was kind of hoarse when responding to the judge, and in a subsequent um, recording, it was also came out that he basically is under the weather, so to speak. But Timmy, in his panic, is uh, exploiting Phil in this rather weird way. And it's bad enough to piss off Astro. Um, he might have been emotional, but I don't think that was the reason that was his voice didn't sound like the old Phil. I think it's because he's had health problems for quite a while now. I can't remember exactly what it was, but um, he was seeking treatment of some kind. Um, and so I would suspect that Paula decided that it would not be a good idea to have him on the air for the time being to let him, um, rest. No, I have never met with or knowingly talked to Randy Erickson slash Homestead. Um, now she might have pretended to be somebody else and talked to me. I don't know, but I have never communicated with her. The only thing she's done is she sent me threats and lawsuits and stuff like that. Well, I agree, Mark. He has been through a lot. You know, Tim ruined 3 years of his life. Well, Tina, what I mean is that there are times when I open the lineups for audio that people have come in and they say things under assumed names. So I would not know if I had talked to Randy on this show at any time because, uh, she if she came in using a uh, sock account, I would not know it was her. I always thought that she was coming in under a sock account, and it turns out that according to the Telegram account that I used to monitor before they threw me off, that she claims to have never come in this show and done any texting, nor has she done any audio. They're saying that the person that comes in is, well, yes, it is. But let me see if I can find this thing because um, in the uh, Zoom hearing, Randy signed in as Randy Holmseth. And she has also used Randy Holmseth in prior postings. So the question that has not been answered is why did Randy come in under Randy Holmseth, or did somebody impersonate her and sign into the Zoom hearing using Randy Holmseth to troll her? There's no way of proving that. You can be anybody you want on the internet, and it's hard to debunk it. This is why I have always um said that the chat that Tim Holmseth keeps using is fake. Um, well, I'm not going to participate in that. I don't recommend doing that. It's just not me. I don't. Uh, Now the problem with her saying she's married with Holmseth, unless her husband died or unless there's a divorce of some kind, she would be committing bigamy. There is no official paperwork that I am aware of that would indicate that there's been any kind of marital thing take place between Holmseth and Randy. It's interesting that her, you know, her name showed up as Randy Holmseth. Okay, all right, I'm gonna have to go back and where did you send him to? Twitter, Facebook, or what? Because I was looking for him and I didn't find him. Um, so okay, there is nothing on Twitter. Oh, on Facebook. Okay, so let me go to Facebook. I should have guessed. Okay, yeah, I've got a notification up here, Messenger. Holy mackerel! Oh, let's see what we got here. Tennessee Middle District. This is the one. This shot. Yeah, this. He lost the lawsuit. You couldn't win this lawsuit, and you got sued. Yet you're saying you're going to after Levi. Watch him counter sue you, which is always a possibility. Oh yeah, she always does. It's yeah, more and more. He is going to pay. Oh, now they're involving Tim Holmes's adult son in this. No, they're saying he was served and he wasn't. The process server went to the wrong house, and it doesn't matter if he's served or not because the lawsuit was dismissed. This is what Tim Holmseth doesn't tell anybody, and neither do any of his cult members, is that the lawsuit was dismissed. So there's no lawsuit. Uh, And these people are obsessed with Levi. I don't understand it. You didn't give one example of man baby Levi being stalked, not one, liar. Well, I've got dozens of pictures because some yo-yo keeps coming over on Telegram and personal message and sending me pictures, and there's been threats made to put personal stuff up on YouTube. Yeah, this sounds like the same individual that keeps sending me private messages because the the language is the same, and it's this obsession with Levi. I just weird. Tina, if I ever learn how to pronounce that, but CKOLOHE sent me a bunch of pictures in Twitter that is a conversation between uh, a big fan of uh, Timmy, and she hates Levi, and she's been obsessed with Levi for over a decade. So, well, it goes back, Tina, to the Haley Cummings case. Uh, Tim Holmseth wanted to join forces with Kim and her group when they were up in Palatka, and Kim said no. And Tim does not like to be told no. And then it went back to um, this nonsense with um, Levi. And there used to be another individual involved, and that would be Radio. And Radio is the one that introduced me and Kim. And eventually I also got to know Levi through Radio. And as time went on, this is what caused me to join forces with Kim, because it was Kim and another individual who eventually found out the true identity of Radio, exposed her as being behind a horrific amount of sock accounts, and Radio News went off the air. But now she is running around tailing Tim Holmseth. So, it's they don't believe it, which is kind of funny. They don't believe that Radio is surveilling them, I guess is a better word for it. But I guarantee you, I keep getting constant information that turns out to be accurate, that Radio News is keeping a very close eye on Tim and Tim Randy and some of the other people he's hanging around with. Um, and she's out to get even with Timmy because apparently she blames Timmy for being exposed. I don't know how she came up with that because it was Radio who exposed herself, but that's Radio. She's weird to begin with. But uh, that's interesting because if that's Radio or Randy that messaged you, then it may be Randy that's contacting me through private message on um, Telegram. But that's okay because every time that idiot comes in on Telegram, and private messages me, I screenshot all she says along with the username she's using it, and then I send that to the appropriate individuals uh, to do with as they need to. And law enforcement is monitoring those accounts. Um, so eventually, this is all going to come out. Um, you know, Randy doesn't realize that if she ever succeeds in getting any of us in court, that we've got counter evidence to throw at them. This business about me being Whitey Bulger, this business about me being a suspect in the Delphi murders. Uh, they've attempted to connect me with the finders and so on and so forth. So all that would come out in court. Well, the person that is sending me stuff in telegrams is mainly sending what you would call embarrassing pictures of Levi, pictures of Nancy Grace, pictures of Kim Bacasio, and pictures of other people. And it's 99% of the time, it's um, just pictures. And it's over and over and over again. And I keep telling her, I says, I don't know why you keep sending this stuff to me. I don't care. And the last sock account that came up on Telegram, I told her to quit contacting me. I says, you're annoying. Quit contacting me. Uh, I don't know. Number one, I don't know if they took any kind of action to have any kind of ceremony where she took the name Randy Holmseth. I don't know if it was a troll that's doing it. It's just the name popped up on Zoom and it's been used before. Um, so, trying to figure out what these two do on a daily basis is just, it's almost impossible. Um, it's nutty. Yeah, it's embarrassing pictures. A man in his underwear laying on a couch and stuff like that. And she seems to have a question as to why a male would be wearing briefs. Why isn't he wearing boxers? I didn't know that it made a difference if a male wears boxers or briefs. There's, kind of a weird subject to be discussing. But this is what I go through. And the last warning that I gave to this individual, I think it sank in that I don't want any contact because I haven't gotten any messages since. Um, I don't know what this is. Kids flown to testify against trafficking 2021. So somebody's put up a dumb another one of these videos. So in a way, I kind of miss the old Telegram channels I used to be on because they'd say some of the stupidest shit on there, but they're scared of the truth, so they blocked me from that, which is it's the way it goes. So uh, actually, uh, KOLOHE could be the one to better answer that because she knows the history. But basically, Randy came across to me on social media felt sorry for him. He was had the same goals and everything, so she went over and talked to him because, um, they both lived in Minnesota. It takes the shortest I've been able to get up there from Minneapolis is about 3.5 hours. So yeah, Sarah Dunklin may have introduced him. I don't know. It just there was that long autobiography thing that Randy wrote, where she basically describes in detail how she met Holmseth. His apartment was an absolute mess. She cleaned his apartment. She paid for a transmission in his car. All kinds of stuff. And it's alleged that she is the one that advised him not to go to court, and why he has uh, the Central Tennessee case has been dismissed. The Eastern Tennessee case I've lost track of. I don't know if that's been dismissed yet or not, but the chances are 99 out of 100 that it is going to be done. Sarah Dunklin is supposed to have been the mastermind behind this thing with Cynthia Absug and possibly Neely Blanchard. She is the daughter of a Republican politician, and um, she is also supposedly friends of the Huckabee family up there. And so um, that's who she is. But she is a rather interesting woman. She basically breastfed her child right up until he was like 3 or 4 years old, and I think it took a court order to get her to stop. The husband has full custody of the children because of her problems, and yeah, it was a convoluted mess, but you know, it Cynthia Absuck was lucky. She basically got off with a slap on the wrist, but the only problem is I think she's not going to be seeing her children anytime soon. I think that she has a lot of work to do with the authorities in Colorado if she ever expects to see her children before they reach adulthood. I think the daughter is pretty close to adulthood by now. Okay, I'm kind of reading the chat here, trying to get a handle on this stuff. But but I think that it's going to be the Blanchard case that's going to blow this stuff wide open. And I don't know if anybody. I don't know if Dunklin. Oh, Dunklin did threaten Kim. That's. I know Kim was involved in some manner with her in the past. I'm going to see. Okay, I'm hoping. Hmm. All right, I'm going to take a chance. I don't know if this is the right one or not. We'll see.
911 location of emergency.
Okay, we're getting close to 0 hour. What I'm going to do is I got, okay. I'm hoping I'm getting the information I'm looking for. I'm working on getting discovery from Ocala, and it's all going to be in the series that I will be conducting starting um, in April. Um, Kirk Pendergrass gave a rather lengthy disposition in Idaho, so Kirk Pendergrass may be coming to Florida as a material witness. Um, and, so this may be their day of reckoning when um, the Blanchard case goes to trial. Sorry about that. Couldn't hit the. No, it has not been released. It's what they did is they have sent it to um, both parties, the prosecution and the defense, for them to study. And it's one of the things that I requested. I requested a lot of specific discovery that has not been released yet. And I'm waiting to hear from that. And once I have all that information, I'm going to collate it and I am going to start presenting um, a series where I will discuss the facts that led up to the murder of Chris Hallett. Uh, No, I'm not. I am widowed. My wife passed away um, in 2008, 2009. That's a good question. I don't know if he is or not. He's likes to think he's an expert in the law, so maybe he will. But okay, I'm back. The program crashed. I had to reload it. Um, no, I don't know if Kirk is representing himself or not. He is, he's into that stuff. He thinks he's a know-it-all, but whether or not he's going to be a witness at the trial for the prosecution, and the defense will probably do their questioning as well. So we'll see what happens there. But there's been communication between him and Neely Blanchard. So we'll see what happens. This trial is shaping up to be weird, if not to say the least. But no, getting back to just so, I don't mind discussing it because, um, the passing of my wife, because that was one of the reasons I got involved in these cases. Both my wife and my son passed away from the same thing, and that is complications of diabetes. Um, John was our only child, and so when he died, the lineage of my family kind of died with him because we never had another child, and she died in 2008, and that was within 8 years of when John died. Um, Now, Trenton Duckett went missing on August 24th, um, and as circumstances would have it, my son had died on August 24th in 2001, few years later, and um, we would go to a small park up in Mondora, Florida, and we would commemorate his birthday uh, by passing, launching balloons, and we would also commemorate his the day he passed away the same way as kind of a remembrance. And uh, by sheer coincidence, when we got home from the visit to the park, is the news had been breaking on local news that Trenton Duckett went missing, and I started following the case because of that, and subsequently, because it's a local case, uh, I would go around and take pictures. And like everybody else, I went to forums to discuss it and stuff like that. And, so this got me interested in true crime social media when it involved children because I just don't like seeing parents outlive their children. I've experienced it. It's not a pleasant experience. It never goes away. And that's the sole reason I did it. But, it's unfortunate that people like Tim Holmseth denigrate people that basically want the same thing, and that is to put a stop to the exploitation of children, either through physical harm, through pornography, all of this stuff, the trafficking. I'm against all of it. And I wish that everyone would concentrate on that instead of this conspiracy thing. While the millennials are millennials, they are a generation that was born with the internet. There's never been a time with a millennial that they were not familiar with the internet. I was born when the internet did not exist, and I kind of grew into it for various reasons. But the millennials, they just came along. They're, most of them are technology um, affluent, and you know, you don't know what their political leanings are going to be until they progress. There's millennials that are conservative, liberal, and everything in between. And they are the new, they're going to take over from us, just like Generation Z is going to take over, because those are the next wave to come through. I mean, we are on the way out, the millennials and Gen Zs are on their way in. So it's kind of like, as Kennedy used to say, the torch is being passed. And so, I wish them luck, because it's their thing now. As us old folks take the dirt nap, um, they're going to be taking over. And now, socialist, we're getting into politics a little bit here, which I try to stay away from them. But socialism is a misused word because it goes to economic theory. There's not one fixed socialism utilization. It's rather broad. Um, and yeah, Gen X um, is one of the newcomers. There's so many of these generations that come along, it's kind of hard to keep track of them all. Oh, hello there, Mittens. Mittens is coming in to the over the top of my neck. Well, it is. That's an old thing that came from Rush Limbaugh, of all people, came up with that. So it is crass. Well, Gen X, welcome to the fray. I must seem like a real old fart to you. Like 71 years old. Okay, so 45 is Gen X. All right. They, when you do all these listings, it's hard to keep track of them all. But yeah, that would make sense. There's Gen X. Who is Gen Y? Because, if we do this by the alphabet, because I'm a baby boomer, is my generation. So, uh, yeah, each generation that goes through, you try and figure out who's in what generation, and it just gets all. I'll have to look for the list is of all these generations. But I have heard mention of Gen X in the past and the millennials, which are people, I guess, that were came about in 2000, 40s and 50s. All right, well, that means that a lot of people I associate with is a Gen X, and Tim Holmseth is Gen X. I don't know when they split the boomer generation to the next generation beyond it. Let's see. Just just for shits and giggles. Okay, we got generations by year. Okay, they got the greatest generation is 1901 to 1927. The silent generation, 1928 to 1945. Baby boomers are 46 to 64. Generation X, 65 to 80. Millennials, 81 to 86. Gen Z is 1997 to 2010. And so it hasn't gotten to beyond 2010, according to this thing. I don't know. This chart was January 28, 2023. Um, yeah, so that's the explanation for it. So yeah, the baby boomers are from 1946 to 1964. I was born in 1950. So, well, I think COVID has turned everything upside down. And there's the widest amount of division when it comes to COVID. But I being a science and technology in my background, I see 1961 to 1996. So yeah, they got in there. Wait a minute. Yeah, millennia, generation Y. So no, I got all the shots. Um, so I did not get COVID. Um, I wore the mask, got all the shots, all that stuff. So, okay, I went overtime. All right, guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shut down. It, it's went a little bit longer than I intended. I just wanted my primary reason for coming in was, well, Tina, what I'm going to do is respectably disagree. Everybody's entitled to their um, opinions. If I get sick and die from wearing the mask and all that, then it's just, it'll be my time to go. Because I feel good, have no problems. Other than um, I'm a diabetic, so I got that to worry about. But I'm borderline, control it with a pill. Well, um, again, everybody has an opinion, strong ones about um, the COVID, the vaccine, the masks, all of it. I made my choice based on what I felt was right, and went the path I did. Others went the path they did. That's their prerogative. You know, um, and if I made a mistake taking the shots and wearing the mask, then I will suffer the consequences. And I do appreciate people coming in, and like my good friend says, like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and share, and stay tuned because as soon as everything falls into place, I will be starting the E-Clause murder case. And, so we shall see you the next time. And Tina, I guess we're just going to have to agree to disagree. Thank you for coming in, asking your questions. I listen to all sides as usual. So, see y'all later, guys. Enjoy your week and have a good one. Night all.